Okay folks, this is the one I was telling you about earlier, this demo. If you see my right finger, I've just got a bit of a cut, and I was saying earlier on that I suffered from my art, or I'm suffering from my art, which is really true. It's really hard work doing this, and holding this phone in my hand can get really quite painful. But this one's a real dirty, filthy, dirty, grungy one that I have to I don't know what I'm going to do to clean it up straight away. We'll soon find out. It's going to be a difficult one, but it should be an interesting one. It looks brand new, actually, strangely enough, as far as these things go. It's going to be a tricky one. It's going to be dirty, inherently dirty. I tried cleaning it, but I couldn't clean it off thoroughly as much as I wanted to clean it. It's probably going to leave grease all over the fucking glass. Anyway, enough of that. Let's just say no further ado. It is a bike chain. Well, yeah, you don't see these as clean as like this as you do, but they are dirty still. They are covered in grease. Inherently, they're always covered in grease. So this one's going to be a filthy, dirty fucking demo if ever there was. So hopefully it won't get too dirty, that I won't get it all over my hand too much. I just put it in an old handkerchief. I just got to try and arrange this nicely in place without touching it too much, without touching it with my fingers too much to get bloody grease all over me as it is. So I'm just trying to arrange it into a nice little pattern, so make it into a nice shape, should I say, a shape, giving shape to ideas, Konica Minolta. And I've just lost my settings to this fart-arsing around. Sorry folks, I've done a lot of prolongated ones today. Yesterday I didn't do very long ones, but today is one of those sorts of days that you just do really long ones, really epic length sort of demos. Just get days where sometimes you do and sometimes you don't. But sometimes the short ones mean they're boring. I think the long ones can be more interesting from my own personal analysis. But the personal analysis has got to go beyond just me. It has to go towards the public, and I'm trying to get on the 6 o'clock news with these demos, these photocopier demos. And basically it's hard work, and you get sore wrist when you're holding the phone for so long. And in this case I cut my finger when I was trying to get as much of that damn grease off as possible. So yeah, but sometimes you have to suffer for your art, folks. It can't always be just easy. Indeed, I have no choice. I am not rich, I'm not famous, I never was born with that silver spoon in my mouth. So I never had it good. I had been teased and bullied mercilessly from school days till I was about 40. So I hadn't had much, or about 38, I think it was really bad until I was 38. So I never really had a very good relationship with people. So I struggled with that, and I struggled with this. You know, things weren't given to me on a fucking easy life platter. They weren't given me on a fucking platter, folks. So really, and you could say I was in chains a lot with my attitude towards things being tainted partly by people at school and people in religious organisations like churches, who've really hurt my feelings and made me feel little and insignificant, as well as, so basically I never had it easy, folks, and I'm trying my hardest to get on the 6 o'clock news, but I still get the feeling that people don't care, or at least the news channels don't care. And I'm trying to get in particular aiming at getting on Channel 9, and it's really hard work trying to get them interested in my material, and they just don't seem to care, and they don't seem to have any regard for the amount of time and effort and cost that has gone into this. So really, it really is suffering from my art. I do wonder, maybe I might have to change the arrangement a bit once again, because yeah, I'm really suffering from my art, folks. It's hard work trying to interest an audience that's gone dim on the whole idea. I struggle with trying to, I just have difficulties with things, folks, and I just need people to be more kind and more receptive to different ideas. Even my dad and my brother hate me. They don't like me. They don't treat me with respect. So, I really have had it hard. And my mum doesn't seem to believe in my work either, even though I'm sure she does. Deep down, she loves it. She's shown me the love of my art in the past, which is nice. But unfortunately, she doesn't have much faith in me being able to crack the big time. She doesn't seem to think it's going to pay off. She thinks it's going to drown me financially. She's worried. She's worried, folks, and I can understand that, but I can't allow that to happen. I can't allow that to be an excuse for me not to try hard. I'm going to try something else. I do think maybe we're not going to just enlarge it like that. We're going to take a section out of it. We're going to enlarge it really big to make it more interesting, see if we can get a better result. But yeah, it's really been a difficult life, folks. It's really been hard work trying to get up there, and I'm disabled. I had a cord around my neck and I came out breech. So even on the day I was born, the odds were stacked against me. I had a cord around my neck, and I came out feet first out of mum, and I couldn't, and had problems at school learning and retaining information and shit, and I was treated like I was a bloody troublemaker. So I really haven't had an easy start to life, folks, even from the day I was born. So I'm trying my best to make up for that, to try and break down the barriers of disability and lack of financial clout. And it's really difficult, and you get clouted all the way, and you try your best and you get clouted. So you try your best, and that's all you can do is try your best, and it's not as easy as it looks. And you just get the feeling you are in chains. You are locked up in chains and you can't break out of them. And you've got to try and break them and keep breaking them. I'm trying my best, folks. I've already broken some chains in my life, and I'm going to keep on trying to break more of them as they come along. I'm not going to stop. My dad and my brother are not going to stop me from being a photocopier artist. They're not going to stop me. I'm not going to let them do it, get into my headspace. So I'm going to basically ignore them and keep them out of my life until I become a success, and then they can finally start with the process of ass licking instead. They can lick my ass instead of fucking kick my ass. They can kiss my ass, not lick it, not kick it. Kiss my ass is like kick my ass, is it? Or whatever, folks. Who cares? I'm trying to make this one work well. It's just a difficult one, folks. I've had a lot of difficult demos today. Don't know if I like that one. Trying to work out how to make this one work. But yeah, I've got to be creative. I've got to stop letting destructive thoughts into my mind and stay in my mind. I've got to think creatively. I've got to think outside the box. It's hard work, but it's going to pay off. I'm sure it will. I'm sure I can do it, folks. I can make it. I can make it in the big time if I can just get a fucking hand up instead of a clout. I don't know if this is looking any good. I'm going to make something else out of this. I'm going to try something different, folks. I'm trying to think outside the chain, outside the box. I'm going to make it into a movement piece. I'm sure this will look really nice in motion. So I'm just going to try and push it up into the corner and start moving it around, sliding it around. I'm going to get a lot of grease on my fingers though, just a tad. It's going to get all over the papers though. Ah, here we go. This looks really nice. It shows my finger, but that's all right, I do think. That looks more interesting. I don't like the finger, but I just wonder if maybe I can take a section out of it and make that into a feature. That's what I can do, folks. Now I just have to get rid of this damn chain. I'm just going to put it on the ground on top of this Christmas card. I do feel like keeping this chain. It's a nice piece of metal. I do love metal, folks, and that leads me into another potential discussion, that is the future of photocopiers, which I'm hoping to redesign the photocopier someday. That's what I want to get out of this passion for photocopiers, is to change the way they are made and have more metal. And one of the features of this new photocopier that I'm proposing is that we use traditional bicycle chains for a lot of the moving parts, instead of those horrible rubber belts that you see in a lot of the new machines. So we're going to use a lot of bike chains and shit, so like the old photocopiers used to use. And we're going to use less plastic, we're going to use artificial intelligence. We've got all these ideas about how to redesign the photocopier, and basically there's a lot of ideas I've got kicking around in my head about the way they're going to be made, even down to the even ideas about what the external panels are going to look like. Really interesting ideas about that. But basically, yeah, I don't know if we can quite go into it at this stage. It's quite exhausting. But basically, I've got a lot of dreams to achieve, to go beyond even being an artist. So the only way I can get to those dreams is to unlock them from the past, and the past has got to die. I've got to kill the past and might make a bright future for myself and my future husband Luigi, who I really miss. I really miss my partner badly. It really hurts, and I can't find him anywhere. So I need the 6 o'clock news to help, Channel 9 in particular. And I'm trying to get Channel 9 interested in my work as an artist. And it's really proving to be really difficult to get such a TV channel interested in my work. But I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to stop, because I've survived heaps of trauma in my life, including my birth trauma. I could have died, folks. I could have died on the day I was born, folks. Just think about it. You know, I could have been dead. And yet I still lived. I still survived. I still made it. And I have a lot of life in me that needs to be expressed in more ways than one, both as an artist and future CEO of a photocopier company that builds the best equipment. And I really believe in myself that I can do it, but I need help from others, like Channel 9. I can't do it alone, and I can't do it on my own, and I just have to have help. I just need Channel 9 to just reach me out an olive branch and just play the material on the news and see what ratings they get, instead of treating it like it's not going to work. You know, that's the attitude my dad has towards me as an artist. He doesn't think that my art is real. He thinks it's fake. He thinks it's foolishness. And it hurts my feelings, folks, to feel that way, to be treated like that by my own flesh and blood. And I have a hatred towards my dad as a consequence, which is really quite a destructive force. It is, it's really destructive. But basically, my dad has bred that into me. He's been a really nasty dad. Even though he gives good Christmas presents, he never gave us much pocket money. And he used to be really good at strapping me when I was a little kid. I don't know how many times I got strapped, but I won't forget it. I won't forget it. It wasn't nice. It was horrible. But my dad is a punishing type of dad, and he's always a merit person. He expects you to be a success, and if you're not a success first go, you're a fucking failure and a fool and a buffoon, whatever you want to call it. He doesn't like foolishness. He thinks my photocopier art is rubbish. He thinks it's foolishness, and he's got to be proven wrong, and I can't prove it wrong to his face. I can't prove it wrong. I have to fucking just prove it elsewhere, and I'm trying to get on the 6 o'clock news. And I have seen my dad watching Channel 9 some time ago, and I'm hoping that he'll see it first up and that he will apologise. And I want him to apologise on the 6 o'clock news for the trouble he's caused, that he tries to always obstruct my passion for photocopier art, trying to tell me not to do it, to force me not to do it when I was young. And those people from church and school, they can go fuck themselves, because they made me think I wasn't good enough for Luigi to marry him. They made me feel little and hated. They made me feel so fucking horrible. And yes, I don't go to church anymore. Yes, I'm a Christian still, but I don't go to church. I'm an unchurched Christian because I feel the Christian church's culture has changed a lot, and I don't feel welcome there. So I give them the middle finger as well. So I have a lot of hatred towards a lot of organisations, like the photocopier industry as well, church, that sort of shit. Art galleries, they've treated me like I'm fucking trivial as well, just a tad. So, yeah, I have a lot of chains to break, but Channel 9 has to help me break them. I can't break them alone. Anyway, enough of that. That's come up looking quite interesting. I think we can now call this demo quits.